My goodness! How does Paul Levesque show us there's a new era? Apparently we were embarking on a new era on Monday night in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Sounded like they OD'd on some chocolate because everybody was asleep for this new era. CM Punk returned to old form. Cut a vicious promo on Braun Breakerman. That's the Punk we need. That's the CM Punk we need from this point on going into forever. The Masked Man has revealed himself. All those people that thought it was Chris Jericho were very disappointed. And my guy, Big Gunther, showed you why it was the right decision to tap out John Cena. Any more questions? This is for all the people. Oh, JD's, he's obnoxious. He's an asshole. He's too loud. Yeah. On this Monday night, I want to know, loud and proud, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw Post Show for December 15th, 2025. I'm your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Monday evening, wherever you may be. A lot of division over the last several days, several hours, couple of days, not several days. We were all collectively surrounding our televisions on Saturday watching John Cena retire. A lot of division in the last several hours, couple of days. Everybody's still upset that John Cena is no more. John Cena has retired. Whether you like the ending or not, John Cena, the hero, that is John Cena. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Never give up, John Cena. The hero died on December 13th, 2025. I was here on Saturday, and I gave you a very good reason as to why the decision to tap out John Cena made sense. I even further elaborated on that today. Woke up, had myself a nice black coffee, finished it in about 10 minutes, was ready to go, sat in this chair, hit record. Hour and a half later, I popped out probably the best video I did all year.
Oh, but JD's always negative. JD's too loud. JD is obnoxious. JD is an asshole. JD, he treats his fans and his super chats. He treats them like shit, JD.
Sat here for an hour and a half, and I went over from beginning to end in the most elaborate way possible, in the most detailed, down-to-earth, talk from creator to viewer way as to why the tap out, why the ending and the conclusion, why the smile from John Cena before he tapped out, why all of it made sense. The one thing that I said is if Gunther maintains the sleeper hold on John Cena, and John Cena simply, like everybody else wanted him to do, if John Cena faded away, if John Cena passed out, the symbolism of John Cena passing out maintains the essence of John Cena. It maintains the essence of never give up. It also means that Gunther did not live up to his promise. That's the most important detail. Gunther would not have lived up to the promise he made. The promise that he made is that he would tap out John Cena on December 13th, 2025, and retire the GOAT. Everybody wanted to pass out. Everybody wanted him to just fade away into the night. A tap out, a verbal I quit, means that Gunther defeated John Cena. It means John Cena gave up. The fade away, the pass out would have meant John Cena endured Gunther. He survived Gunther. Gunther did not let him survive. John Cena quit. The smile meant more than anything. Oh, it's corny. Oh, it's lame. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Grown men crying, this and that. Nobody wants to see it any other way. Everybody was upset with the outcome because it wasn't the outcome that everybody wanted. Everybody was upset with the outcome because it wasn't what you wanted. Everybody that was booing didn't know why they were booing. They didn't know. Triple H shows himself with his wife to congratulate John Cena on 23 years after the match is over. Everybody's making it about Triple H. Triple H is throwing himself in front of the camera. Triple H is making it about himself. Triple H got booed out of the building. The fans were booing, and they don't know why they were booing. Were they booing for John Cena losing? Were they booing for John Cena verbally tapping out? Were they booing for Triple H? Were they booing for John Cena going away? Were they booing because Gunther was the last guy to retire John Cena? You don't know why you were even booing. You had 19,000 people emotionally distraught Everybody booed because they were emotionally distraught watching their hero do the one thing that they didn't want him to do, and they couldn't cope with it. You had 19,000 and millions watching this around the world, unable to accept the truth. The John Cena that you loved for one night on his last night didn't live up to his never give up moniker. That's not my problem. That's not Gunther's problem. That's not John Cena's problem. That's your problem. John Cena has prepped you for this for months. John Cena has prepped you for this since July of last year. You were booing everything and pointing blame and projecting blame, and the fans should be blaming themselves. You ruined the moment. You made it all about yourselves. Triple H didn't make it about himself. There's more problems than Triple H needs to fucking be hessed with. He's got more problems than a lot of people. His creative is dog shit. This year, he needs to do better. But of course you're going to potentially blame Triple H. He's got his name all over the fucking show. He wants you to know who's in charge. And when someone like that wants you to know they're in charge, then when shit goes bad, we know who to blame. It's very easy to point the finger of blame at him. I rest my case even today, 48 hours later. I do not blame Triple H for anything on Saturday night. There's plenty that we can blame Triple H for, like the majority of John Cena's retirement run. Saturday night was not the time to blame Triple H. The smile meant that for 23 years, John Cena's burden of being the guy, the GOAT, the face of the company, their ace, their number one, the burden of that is now lifted. The smile of John Cena passing out, or not passing out, but tapping out and fading away into the night. The smile means that when John Cena leaves, that he knows after 23 years, all the good that he's done is now in the good hands of the guy that beat him. So many excuses were brought to the table. So many. Jey Uso tapped out Gunther at WrestleMania. I can't look at Gunther in a legitimate way because Jey Uso tapped him out. I'm supposed to believe Gunther tapped out John Cena. Pat McAfee lasted 15 minutes with Gunther. I'm supposed to believe Gunther tapped out John Cena. Continue to deflect. Continue to blame. Sami Zayn beat Gunther. Continue to deflect. Continue to blame. Oh, heroes should always get the final chapter and the good feel ending. Sting got one. Kurt Angle got one. No, not Kurt Angle. Who won? Did Baron Corbin beat Kurt Angle, didn't he? I don't even remember. Kurt Angle didn't even get the guy he wanted. That's the point I'm trying to make. He didn't even get the guy he wanted. I don't understand. Ric Flair lost to Shawn Michaels. I mean, I don't understand all the excuses. I don't even. Kurt Angle lost. I don't even get all the excuses. You guys pointed blame and pointed the finger of blame at every excuse under the sun because you could not understand where they were going with this at all. You did not know. The future is in good hands. Cena smiled because of that. Cena smiled because of the burden released. The hero died. He understands that there's no more good to be done. The good's been done. I don't understand this nonsense that the hero always has to get the ride off into the sunset moment with the W, with the victory. Oh, it's keeping traditions alive. Everybody wants to kill traditions. Moving on into 2025 and 2026, people want to kill traditions. How about we keep traditions alive? Traditions will eventually fade away because all the guys right now that have been embroiled in those traditions, that have learned those traditions, they're eventually going to go away. The new school will adopt new traditions. Then you can start building for your own traditions. I quite enjoy when a hero dies at the end of the movie. I love it. Perfect example is Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Look at all that he had to endure. Look at all that he had to do to save Rome. And when he finally killed Julius Caesar at the end, he succumbed with a smile on his face, knowing that everything that he went through was for the good of Rome. And that he would see his wife and see his kid in Valhalla, and he would have a life that he sorely missed. He died a hero. Don't know why everybody can't look at John Cena in the same way, but now we'll let our emotions take care of it, and we'll let our emotions just fuel our hatred to spew hatred everywhere because we didn't get what we want. The reason why they did what they did was very apparent in the opening segment. The reason why they did what they did was very clear. They now created the biggest heel in the industry. Hershey, Pennsylvania might not have been the best place for him to come on out first in this line of cities that he's going to make after beating John Cena. But he doesn't book the show. He doesn't book the towns. He's the most hated man in all of wrestling. He now holds the keys to the kingdom. Gunther is going to take all that he has taken from John Cena. And what you are going to see is an evolution of a character that, in my honest opinion, WWE was clearly running into a wall with. What do you do with a guy that has basically done everything in WWE at the early age of 37? Guy's done everything. He's main evented WrestleMania, multiple world championships, longest reigning IC champion, king of the ring. What else is there for this guy to do? How else do you keep Gunther interesting? Triple H has taken his one pet project, a pet project that has been in his hand since the very beginning. Since the day he came out, NXT TakeOver UK to confront Pete Dunne at a TakeOver event years ago. Walter was a pet project of Triple H. And now we see him on the main roster, even more so. Carefully booked, protected, still that same pet project for Paul Levesque. What do? You have him beat John Cena. You have him retire John Cena in the most offensive way that's going to piss off everybody, make it make sense, and take this guy from that statement and run him through every single remaining legend that is about to expire on the main roster. That's what I said. That's what I said on Saturday. Everything else fell on deaf ears because you, the viewer, let your emotions get the best of you. You, the person sitting in that arena on Saturday, let your emotions get the best of you. Gunther retired Goldberg on July 10th, 2025. Gunther retired John Cena on December 13th, 2025. And WWE gave you a very clear picture of where they're going into 2026. AJ Styles is next. If AJ Styles is to be believed, and AJ Styles is retiring in 2026, then Gunther and AJ Styles is already mapped out for WrestleMania. And I can't wait to see how everybody mentally melts down on April 19th and April 20th. Or when is it this year? 18 and 19? I can't wait to see everybody visibly and mentally break down when Gunther takes away another one of your childhood favorites. That would be 3. Let's throw Chris Jericho in there to make it 4. He'll be with the WWE in about 6 weeks' time. Let's throw Randy Orton in there to make it a cool number 5. Don't know when Randy's going to retire. He's already semi-retired anyway. Where the fuck is he? Let's make it 5. Who else wants to go to an early trip to the retirement home? None of you really grasped what they were building towards. None of you really understand why John Cena smiled at the end of the fucking match on Saturday. Now you know why. John Cena smiled because with every retirement that Gunther collects, that one guy who's going to end up confronting Gunther, who's going to put an end to this savage monster who's disrespecting the business, who took our childhood heroes away from us. That one guy who will stand up to the mighty Gunther. That man will take everything that happened on December 13th and take it for himself. But nobody wants to be patient. Nobody wants to sit and watch the story play out. Nobody wants to watch character evolution play out right before your very eyes. Everybody wants what they want. Everybody wants something to go the way that they want. And everybody wants the guy that they want, except the guy that WWE put in there on Saturday. Tough shit. Nobody has answered this question with a proper answer. Who the fuck else was there? Who else was there? I keep hearing the same names over and over again. Oh, it should have been Open Femi. Oh, it should have been Braun Breaker. Oh, it should have been this guy. It should have been that guy. WWE is not going to put any of those guys' names in a John Cena retirement match. Nobody. Oh, it should have been LA Knight. Why? So you guys turn on LA Knight? So LA Knight gets booed out of the fucking building? Nobody has answered the simple question of who else. Stop using the fucking lame excuse that Gunther is old. Gunther's in the fucking prime of his career at 38 years old. I've heard so many ridiculous things. Gunther's fat. Gunther's out of shape. Gunther's not it. Gunther don't have no personality. Gunther's got no charisma. Motherfucker, watch the first 15 minutes of Monday Night Raw and then get back to me and tell me how much of a fucking idiot you are. That's the problem. Nobody understands. Yet I'm the bad guy. Yet I don't deserve a platform. I'm an asshole. I'm this, I'm that. I'm loud. I'm obnoxious. I'm a terrible person. How many legitimate heels exist in this industry right now? on a major level, how many legit heels do you know of that you want to watch get their ass handed to them? How many good heels exist right now in the industry that have this level of heat, which is going to be transformative? Meaning, they'll take it from match to match and match, collect it as it grows and grows and grows, so that it may be passed on to the next guy. How many? There's only one guy that I can think of, and right now he's on hiatus from AEW, and that's Maxwell Jacob Friedman. You're looking at an industry. You're looking at a current landscape in pro wrestling where no legit heels exist. Yet everybody's fixated on, oh, let's build for the future. Let's build for the future. You are building for the future with Gunther. You are building for the future because when the next guy beats him, that's when it begins. That's when the fun begins. That's when you get what you want. So my statement to all of you, everything that happened on Saturday night, you saw a clear indication of where they are going. No, I don't trust WWE to do the right thing. No, I don't trust WWE to give me the proper build and direction, the follow-up following Saturday. Their 2025 has left a terrible taste in everybody's mouth, and they're going to need to do a lot of work to get everybody to trust them the way that they used to trust them. But you see the clear indication, the clear direction of where they are going on Gunther's behalf coming out of Saturday. Everything that you wanted now rests in Gunther. So that when he meets the next guy, and that guy takes it from him, Gunther will take the baton John Cena passed on to him and pass it on to the next guy. That's how the business works. That's how creating stars works. Where do they go if an Obafemi beats John Cena? Where do they go if a Carmelo Hayes or a Javon Evans or a Braun Breaker beats John Cena? You're watching a multi-layered story play out over multiple chapters. Yes, let's go right for the kill and give the guy everybody wants the rub and then go nowhere. It's like you're putting fucking quarters in a bank. What the fuck are you gonna buy with one fucking quarter in the fucking piggy bank? Where are you going? You can't even buy yourself a pack of bubble gum nowadays at the fucking supermarket. But if you continue to put quarters in there and you build it up and you fucking accumulate, take it to the coin bank, deposit it, get your receipt, you're looking at enough to buy yourself a PlayStation 5 Pro. Your patience paid off. All of that waiting was well worth it. Look at it in the way of putting a quarter in a piggy bank every single day, and you let that accumulate over years and years and years. Everybody wants instant gratification nowadays. Everybody wants the now, the now, the now. Nobody wants to wait for anything. Tough shit. Now you're going to wait because Gunther's got it, and WWE, they're going to build the next monster of this industry. He's already the biggest heel in the fucking business. He's already the biggest heel in the company. And when he slays all of your favorites, I can't wait to watch you all fucking cry. Because nobody understands. I don't know why everybody seems to think the hero has to win in the end. I've made it abundantly clear I am a fan of the bad guys. I want to see the Joker outshine Batman. I want to see Julius Caesar fucking kill Rome and kill Russell Crowe. Maximus. Great fucking movie, but I just actually watched Gladiator 2, man. It wasn't better than Gladiator 1, but it was still great. Very good movie. Ridley Scott is fucking great. Always want to see the villains over the good guys. Always. That's just who I am. So yes, I am going to very much take pleasure in this. But another situation, another reason why I loved everything that happened on Saturday and why I've been so stern, unmoved by everybody's volatile comments, and I didn't like it. Good. You not liking it makes me love it even more. Nobody has a sound reason as to why they didn't like it. They didn't like it because they didn't like it. Oh, he should have passed out instead of tapped out. Nobody gives me an explanation. Nobody. Can't listen to these fucking people. They tell you why they didn't like it, and then they don't give you a fucking reason as to why. For all the people that are claiming Jey Uso tapped him out and Pat McAfee lasted 15 minutes, all I can tell you is, A, I don't really understand it. But you all know Triple H booked for moments. He used Gunther for Jey Uso to get the biggest pop. I hated Jey Uso tapping out Gunther. I hated it. Looking back at it, it's much worse now looking back at it. Not only did it fuck the match up, it was the wrong ending. Not because it shouldn't have happened, but the tap out, it was almost as lukewarm of a reaction as you could possibly make that moment. A moment like that, an opponent like that, that should be by pinfall. Super kick, spear, big splash, 1, 2, 3. It would have been so much bigger of an ovation than Jey Uso tapping him out to the sleeper. They thought they were telling a great story because of what Gunther did to bloody him up on a previous episode of SmackDown and left him laying in his own piss and blood. They thought they were doing something cool, epic. No, I hated that ending. The Pat McAfee thing, I can't really tell you, but we all know WWE rubs elbows with their celebrity friends, and they're all starstruck anytime Lil Wayne is on the show, and Lil Yachty, and Netflix this, and Netflix that, and fucking Macaulay Culkin, and Danielle Fishel, and all these people. Jelly Roll, Travis Scott. They don't know when to put their dick away. That's all they use these people for. They're starstruck by their celebrity friends and they want to include them. Pat McAfee should have never been in the fucking ring, let alone against Gunther. All I could tell you is it sucked. Shouldn't have happened. And hopefully in 2026, there is a less emphasis on using celebrity buddies to get in the ring with our top made stars. But I'm pretty confident that from this point on, you will not see a Gunther loss all year. You will not see Gunther jeopardized in any way, shape, or form until the day he loses to the next guy in line. Otherwise, what the fuck are we doing? And if that happens at some point next year, there will be a massive rant to go along with it. But right now, there's a hesitation in even trusting them because of what they did with John Cena and what they did with his retirement run and what they did this year creatively in general. The hero doesn't always need a happy ending. He doesn't. Sometimes the hero needs to die for things to look bleak, for things to just look in a way where it's not going to be saved, like the world is ending. The hero needs to die to make way for the new hero, to conquer evil. That's where the fun is. Everybody's thinking with their emotions because the John Cena that they loved and recognized and wore the merch for 23 years, That John Cena went against everything that he said to you, and you couldn't handle it. Evil won out in Washington, D.C., like it usually does. There's nothing but evil in Washington, D.C. Evil won out on Saturday. The fun, the journey, the reason why we're all pro wrestling fans, the best part of it all is to watch and see and wait patiently on who the next hero is that will take what John Cena instilled in everybody and never give up as they stand face to face with Gunther. I don't expect everybody to see it the way that I see it. But don't you ever dare come into my fucking chat room, and don't you ever dare go into a co-host's comment section claiming that I don't know anything and that I treat my subscribers and my followers and my super chatters with disrespect. All my anger and all my hostility is aimed towards what I see on social media. Never about you guys. I barely even look at the fucking chat. I appreciate everybody that walks through this fucking door. Every single one of you. Say it every night. I love each and every one of you, and without you guys, I'm not here doing the shit that I love to do. So for anybody to fucking make claims that I don't care and I'm angry against my viewers and subscribers, bro, shut the fuck up. You don't know a fucking thing. Period. Those are the types of people I don't want here. If you're the type of person where I gave you a 1.5 hour video and you opted to leave me a comment saying that continue to glaze Triple H, I know you didn't watch the fucking video and I want you to get the fuck out. If you simply took what I said via the title of the video and listened to nothing that I said, I don't want you to get the fuck out. If you are quick to go and claim that other content creators are much better than me and I'd rather be over there than over here, then do me a favor and get the fuck out. I don't want you here. If you are the type of person that unsubscribes because my opinion doesn't line up with yours and you can't see it the way that I do, get the fuck out. I don't give a shit about anybody's opinion. I'm telling you mine. Whether you like it or not, I don't give a fuck. But don't go out there and make claims that I'm this and I'm that and I'm this and I'm that based off what I liked and what I didn't like on Saturday. You really set off what I said on Saturday. Set off the reason why a video like today's needed to be made. I don't give a shit who does what. I don't give a shit who says what. I don't give a shit what anybody else does. I care about what I do here. Comments that JD's not himself on Tuesday. Solid Monster's got him neutered. Motherfucker, Jason is the only person in the entire community that knows me outside of pro wrestling, outside of this YouTube. Jason sees everything about who I am as a human being. Why does Jason associate himself with JD? Why does Jason work with him on Tuesdays? It's a blemish on Jason. It's a indictment on Jason. Jason didn't want to do TNT. Jason would have already told me he didn't want to do TNT. But that's what makes TNT so great. You can't cope that when I'm on Tuesdays with Jason, that you get the real me. And that bothers you because you can't say anything but the shit that you normally say. And then you make yourself look equally fucking stupid because the guy that I get on Tuesday that you claim are not watching, that's the real Jerry. That's the real JD. No, but you're going to make your conclusions based off what you watch here and what you watch when I do my shit solo. But when I'm with TNT on Tuesday, you guys ain't watching because you got this misrepresentation of what I am alone. Meanwhile, I'm there and you're missing the best fucking show in the entire fucking community. And tomorrow's going to be a legit banger because everything I said here, I'm going to say in the same context to him because he didn't like it. And we're going to have a friendly banter. Same thing I said here tonight. Same thing I said today, this afternoon. Same thing I said on Saturday. I'm going to reiterate on Tuesday. JD's grifting on Tuesdays. Normally he's grifting. But he's fake and he changes his tune and he switches up when he's on Tuesday. And he'll go back and say something different when he's by himself, but he'll be on his best behavior when Salamatsu's there. Everything I say on Tuesday, I reiterate no matter what, everywhere else. There's no changing of tunes. There's no different opinions. Everybody wants to make excuses about why they don't like me. Don't like me. I don't give a shit. Everybody's got an answer for everything. At the end of the day, the guy that you complain about is not the guy you're getting on Tuesday, and the guy that you would rather have is on Tuesday, and you're not watching him. We're having a good time on Tuesday. We're pulling massive numbers on Tuesday. We got massive support on Tuesday. Where the fuck are you? Where are you? See, those people I don't want. Those people I don't want. Those aren't real supporters. Those aren't real fans. A lot of people exposed themselves over this John Cena situation because I had a different opinion. A lot of people. Comments made, I seen things being murmured and misrepresentations of who I am as a human being. People were talking about my fucking family. Over the fact that I enjoyed John Cena tapping out to Gunther on Saturday night. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then you want to know why I love it so much. Because you can't fucking stand it and it brings me pleasure to see everybody melt down. And I've always been like that, not just with pro wrestling. Been like that with music, my bands, my gaming, the things that I love to do. The more people do it, the more people like something, the more people listen to something, the less I'm going to want to participate. I stopped going to the Atlantic City Beer Fest every year because my best friend isn't going anymore. I continue to go in his absence. But the more people that show up, the less interesting it is to me. See, it was a niche thing to do. Now that more people are privy to it and the more people go, I don't want to go anymore. I don't. The more popular a band gets, the worse their music gets, the less I want to listen to them. Because the more people listen to them, then they have to appeal to a broader audience. And they're not making the same music that they were when they first started out because they were catering to a niche audience. I don't want to listen to them anymore. I'll continue to listen to their old stuff and not listen to anything new that they do. A good example is Dane Cook. Whether you like Dane Cook or not, Dane Cook was fucking great. In the first couple of years Dane Cook hit the scene, he was great. He's great. Funny. Went to go see him live. Had a great time. When everybody started to pick up on who Dane Cook was and Dane Cook got excited, he got popular, I didn't like him anymore. His jokes didn't hit. Nothing about him resonated with me anymore. He wasn't funny anymore. Then when he fell off, I went to go back to listen to him and I find him funny again. That's just the way that I operate. I've always operated with the majority, I'm in the minority. That's just what I do and who I am. Everybody wants me to change. Everybody wants me to be something different. I'm loud and obnoxious. I curse. I'm this, I'm that. You don't want to listen to me yelling and the negativity, the grifting, all this other stuff. You do realize that I have cultivated and created an abundance of an audience here. Off of hard work, dedication, consistency, and being here every single night with barely any time off. I go on vacations and I think about streaming. I don't know how to enjoy myself. I go anywhere. I'm always in the know. I have to be in the know. I hate to be last to know anything. I am who I am on here. I'm not everybody's cup of coffee. I'm not asking for you to listen to me. But you do realize that if I present myself in another way, like 98% of the fucking community who's fucking boring, there's a reason why they don't grow. Do you want to know why we had 6,300 people on Saturday? Do you want to know why we continuously have the largest live stream every single night, the moment these shows end, the moment we go live on YouTube, and I'm sitting in front of 2,700 people right now? Do you want to know why? Because I'm unapologetically me. While everybody else is spreading toxic positivity and not knowing what the fuck they're talking about, and everybody needing to be positive and spread this and spread that because they want a job and they want an interview and they want to rub elbows with the talent and they need to cater to an audience. Those people aren't real. They're not. They're fake. When you can't decipher if they really mean what they say, that's not the type of content creator I want to watch. See, with me, I'm brutal. I'm honest. I give you exactly how I am feeling with no apologies about it. Whether I yell, curse, or scream is besides the point. The cursing, the yelling, and the screaming is passion. I've been watching wrestling since 4 years old. I've done commentary for 8.5 years. I've called some of the biggest matches from the biggest indie talents in the fucking industry. And I'm grateful for everything that's come my way, and hopefully more comes my way next year. If I presented myself in any other fucking way, I'd be like everybody else that you continuously watch on a weekly basis. The community is not fun. There's no creativity in the community. There is no logic in the community. Mostly everybody's fake, and mostly everybody's trying to fucking push a narrative to get where they gotta go, and they only care about themselves. We care about the actual fucking product. I'm not serving anybody. I'm not fitting an agenda. I'm not spewing a narrative. Everything you get is from a genuine point of view from a fucking fan, not someone peddling a fucking dirt sheet or trying to land an interview or trying to get on a fucking platform so that they leave everybody that they work with in the fucking dust. Everybody seemingly had a problem with what I said on Saturday, and most of you took the low road on it. There was only one guy in the chat that I spewed hatred at because he was pissing me the fuck off. And then I had two trolls in my super chat who showed up with a Rock avatar and a Stone Cold avatar to say the same thing over and over again. So I don't know where anybody gets off telling me that I disrespected my community. You don't know a fucking thing about my community. Period. I love my community. I love what I do. I'm fucking great at what I do. You don't have an interest in watching me? Good. Fuck off. Don't give a shit. Sooner rather than later, you'll be right back here, and I'll be saying the same fucking thing every single night, and then I'll prove to you how right I was, just like I was tonight. This is only night one. When Gunther ascends to the heights that I know he's going to, because he is, everything about December 13th will be right. So don't sit there and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, and don't sit there telling me that I grift. Of course JD liked it. Of course JD defended Triple H. When did I defend Triple H? When? I've been shitting in his fucking cereal all year. The guy sucks. This year's awful. You'd know that if you watch the fucking content. How could anybody take comments like that seriously when I've come on every single fucking Friday and said to you guys the show is fucking terrible? Like tonight's show was garbage. I can't stand JD because of how he's turned on AEW. Motherfucker, when I'm allowed to speak on why I don't like AEW, you'll know why I don't like AEW. I will continue to review AEW because it's easy fucking money. I will continue to review AEW for the same reasons I continue to review Raw. When something great happens and things turn around, I want to be there to see it happen because that's what I ultimately want. Doesn't mean I gotta like them. Doesn't mean I gotta like them. It's like me watching the Phillies and the Dodgers. I hate both of them. But I was watching to see the Dodgers win, so the Phillies lose. I wanted to watch to see it play through. Don't gotta like them, but I wanted them to win. That's my TED Talk. That's my TED Talk. Not a lot happened on tonight's show. CM Punk cut a great promo on Braun Breaker. Gunther cut a very simple, heat-filled promo where he called John Cena a bitch. We got a setup for AJ Styles, potentially, versus Gunther in 2026. And Austin Theory has been revealed as the masked man who is now helping the Vision. I see some conspiracy theories out there. It's nice to see some people dive into the conspiracy theory realm. Some people were spewing the narrative that maybe Austin Theory is an insider helping the Vision, but he's really helping Seth Rollins. I don't know if Triple H is that smart to think outside the box, but we'll talk about it right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw Post Show for December 15th, 2025. Why are the Phillies catching strays? Because I can't stand the fucking Phillies, bro. Braves are making moves, man. They're looking to slide into the top 5 payroll of 2026. Great. But we all know money doesn't equal championships. Just let's axe the Mets. Oh, man. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Code JD. Blue Chew Gold. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. 10% off your order of Blue Chew Gold when you use that code JD at checkout. Yes, it is very cold outside. It's fucking 26 degrees outside. Was busy shoveling snow yesterday. 6 inches of it. It's going to be 50 degrees on Friday, so hopefully the snow melts by then. BlueChew.com, code JD. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Please go out there and check out the content on the channel. We uploaded what I thought was one of my best videos of the entire year. A retrospective on John Cena's last year, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between, and my final thoughts on Gunther tapping out John Cena on Saturday night's main event to retire John Cena after 23 years. Hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes tonight. And Super Chats are open. Super Chats are open. Get them on in and we'll hang out with you fine people at the end of the show. And I got to shout out my guy before we get into the actual show. Got to shout him out here. We got a $100 super chat from my guy, FN Raw. You know, you would think Theory was doing the stomp to make you think he was Seth Rollins and hide his identity. He did tonight and still revealed himself. Maybe I'm delusional, but I hope there's more. Maybe some more masked men may be aligned with Rollins. I don't know, honestly. You know, like I said, brother, I see the conspiracies. I see the murmurs. I see people talking about him utilizing the stomp and him potentially being an insider, an inside man for Seth Rollins. And Rollins is slowly aligning his own group in absence to battle the Vision. I would assume Rollins is going to be back as a babyface. I think that's where it's going to end up. Who would that third man be over there? I don't know. But yes, I have seen, I've heard, and FN Raw, thank you very much for the $100 super chat. Another round of applause to FN Raw. Appreciate it, brother. It was a big video package recapping John Cena's retirement on Sunday, his loss to Gunther. They showed everybody walking out, but then they obviously covered up the boos of Triple H at Stephanie McMahon and the displeasure from the Washington, D.C. crowd with chants of, "Thank you, Cena." Gunther walked out to a ton of heat in what was a largely dead crowd in front of Hershey, Pennsylvania. I've been to Hershey Park. It's a good time. I have been there twice, I'd say. Once in the summer and then one in the winter, I believe. But it's a good time. It's a good time. The people tonight were fucking dead. Dead. Now, supposedly, I was shocked to see SmackDown spoilers. Supposedly there are SmackDown spoilers going around, and here's a hint. The show looks awful on Friday. Apparently they taped 2 hours of SmackDown before this 2.5-hour Raw. That's a long night for Hershey, Pennsylvania. And if they had to sit through SmackDown and how bad it was from my point of view, no wonder they were fucking dead. Whatever they had left was given to Gunther, and then after that, it was all downhill from there. Gunther walked out to a ton of heat. No, it was not piped in. He was all smile. I was smiling. I was smiling watching Gunther smile. Fans chanted, "You tapped out, you tapped out." That quickly turned into more booing as he tried to speak. This was never ever going to be the type of heat that Roman Reigns got at the end of WrestleMania 33 when he beat The Undertaker. It was never going to be that. That is a day that will live in the annals of history. For 8 minutes, he had every chant thrown at him, and all he said via the promo, because he let the crowd get their anger out, "This is my yard now." Probably Roman Reigns' best segment. I still go back and watch that segment from time to time just to relive in the fucking hatred that was that segment. This was not that. They tried, but they came nowhere close. Gunther stated, "I did what I said I would do." More boos. More booze. Gunther was loving this shit. The reason why this is going to work well as well is because Gunther loves this shit. He's got that smirk that is villain-esque, and he's just going to fucking destroy this role, bro. He's going to kill it. I made John Cena give up, and when he gave up, he tapped out like a little bitch. That's all that really needed to be said here. Gunther dropped the mic. He left. Crowd is booing Gunther loudly. Gunther returned to the ring to pose on the turnbuckle and bask in the heat with his arms up in the air. He teased leaving again. Instead, he posed on the announce table with one more statement. I made John Cena tap out like a little bitch. It is my time now. I will forever be the man that made John Cena give up. Gunther smiled. Chorus of boos. He walked to the back. The camera followed him to the back, and I said to myself, something's going to happen here. Something's going to happen here. Someone's going to confront him because the camera's not going to willingly follow Gunther to the back. They had something planned here. He walks through the back. He bumped into Otis and Akira Tozawa. Otis asked if Gunther felt good rubbing it in. Gunther said, yeah, I do. Gunther then bumped into R-Truth, who called him a piece of garbage. Cool, that's great. Fantastic, man. I'll see you later. Gunther then bumped into Adam Pearce next. Pearce was pissed that he was walking all over Cena's legacy because he knew Cena wasn't coming back. That didn't make him the ring general. That made him an asshole. Crowd then started to chant, asshole, asshole. Adam Pearce then told him, you're done for the night. Find the exit. Guy fucking kicked him out of the building. Gunther gladly left the arena. You could see how frigidly cold it was in Pennsylvania. AJ Styles is in the distance leaning on a rental. He walks past AJ Styles. Styles got in his face, but he didn't say anything. He motioned to Gunther, there's your car. Gunther rolled the window down after he got in the car. He drove by Styles on his way out. He looked at Styles and he told Styles, hey, AJ, you can't see me. And then he drives off. Every single human being that overreacted from Saturday's event was made to look like a fool. Every single one of you. The tap out, the loss, the smile, everything about it, whether you liked it or not, which is your opinion. You could sit there and fucking claim to everybody that you didn't like it. Nobody gives a shit. Everything that they did was justified in this 15 minutes. Everything about it. You could not have booked a more perfect Gunther segment following retiring John Cena outside of asking for maybe a better audience. They at least did their job to the best of their abilities. I would have preferred a more volatile, adult-like audience. I wanted fucking sheer hatred. I wanted the fuck you Gunther chants that were bleeped out on Netflix. I wanted asshole. I wanted anything but you suck, you suck, you suck. Outside that, I thought this was perfect. Everything I said in the open, I stand behind it. Gunther's going to be made into the biggest monster in the company that's been there for a very long time. And he's going to go on his own retirement run, retiring the likes of Jericho and Styles and Orton. Lesnar. Do we trust WWE? Do we trust Triple H to see it through? I think with the way Gunther has largely been protected, the guy's been a champion 75% of his WWE run. I think the way that he's been protected, I think there's a good chance that WWE is going to protect Gunther going on into the new year. You know, Triple H doesn't really have making new stars on his resume. What new star has Triple H created? Can anybody point a finger? Like, really, a legitimate star. Everybody that's a star on Monday night or Friday night, they're already an established talent. Randy Orton, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre. They're all established guys already. The Usos. Braun Breaker's not a star yet. How many people has Triple H made into a legitimate star? Nobody. Nobody. You can sit there and squint your eyes thinking about how many people Triple H has made. He's made nobody. Triple H has not made one star. Not one. The one star that he will make, the guy at the top of his list, when all is said and done, will be the guy that beat John Cena on December 13th. Triple H sat down at the fucking poker table and went all in. He's going all in on Gunther. That's his guy. So when you ask me, JD, why are you so confident that Triple H is going to do right by this? Because Triple H has not made any stars, and this is the closest thing to a star that he is going to make. He has coddled and cared for Gunther since the day he walked into the fucking company. If I am a betting man, I am betting with Triple H. I'm not betting against Triple H in this particular situation. That's why I feel the way that I do. That's not me glazing Triple H. That's not me shilling Triple H. Those are just cold, hard facts. So excuse me for having some hope in a guy that the company, Triple H, has largely protected. That's not me shilling. That's not me glazing. That's not me grifting. That's me taking what I've watched for the last 5 or 6 years and applied it to what happened on Saturday night. I don't expect you to think that way because you are not going to think the same way that I think. You may have no trust in WWE at this point, and I don't blame you. But with Gunther, I trust Triple H. I do. And I'm not apologizing for feeling that way. Liv Morgan is not a star because of Triple H. Liv Morgan, I would say, Liv Morgan is a star because of the happenstance that happened with Rhea Ripley. Triple H didn't have anything to do with Rhea Ripley getting hurt. She took it and made it her own. Bronson Reed is not a star. I'm waiting for Jacob Fatu to get back so that WWE can push him the same way that they're pushing Gunther. Usos versus the New Day. This has been one of the longest standing rivalries in WWE history as far as tag team wrestling. Early on, this was really good. Tonight, this was all right. Not going to sit here and tell you that they tore the house down. They went 18 minutes. This was longer than anything else on the show. They went 18 minutes. But they're clearly setting up the Usos to go after the tag team championships against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, whenever that may be. Maybe setting it up for the January 5th show. Monday night on Netflix, the 1-year anniversary. This was all right. I didn't really find myself like completely enthralled or invested in this. This came about last week when the Usos finally got back together, and then the New Day were there, who were eyeing the tag team championships after Dragon Lee and AJ Styles beat the War Raiders. Jimmy Uso said that he saw Jay melt down 2 weeks ago. He called Jay, he talked to Jay, and they realized that they need to get back together, and now they're back in the tag team division. So the first team that they have the Usos run through is the New Day, who have largely been losers in 2025. I believe this is the first time that they've wrestled in over 3 years. The New Day took control. We go into a commercial break. We come back from the break. Jimmy Uso's making a comeback. Waller distracted the referee, allowing the New Day to take over. Jay made a hot tag, missed a stinger splash, went headfirst into the ring post. He bounced right back, hit Xavier Woods with a super kick. He goes for recovery, gets a 2 count. Jay followed with a dive and a flying crossbody for 2, leading to a second commercial break. New Day took over during the commercial. Yeet Man starts coming back. Tripped Waller, who was kicked out by the referee for being a pest on the outside. Usos handed out super kicks to both Kofi and Xavier, and then they hit Woods with a double splash for a near fall. The double splash looked awful. I don't know why they can't connect on a Uso splash correctly. We had Jay splashing the chest and Jimmy splashing the knees or the legs. So it's like they did a double splash covering their entire opponent, and none of it looked good. Kofi shoved Jay into the steel steps on the outside. Woods followed with a tornado DDT to Jimmy off the apron. New Day hit their double team finish, the midnight hour, on Jimmy. Jay broke up the cover barely. Jimmy came back with some super kicks before Jay nailed Woods with a spear outside the ring. Jimmy speared Kingston in the ring, and the Usos hit him with a 1D, with Jay pinning Kofi 1, 2, 3. This was okay. It was largely boring. The crowd didn't add anything to it, and the Usos get a W over a team that nobody takes seriously going into 2026. Literally no more to add. No, the Usos are not going to save the tag team division. No, the Usos aren't the answer to the tag team woes on Monday night. A lot more work needs to be done. So giving them the tag team championships is only going to be because the WWE wants to give them the tag team championships. It will help nobody. Unless you start building teams and adding teams to the division so that when the Usos win the titles and they have competition, nothing will be saved until those moves are made. They announced Io Sky and Rhea Ripley will challenge the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, for the tag team titles on January 5th. Barclays Center, New York City, first Monday Night Raw of the year. Already announced, as you guys know from last week, CM Punk versus Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. Asuka and Kairi Sane cut a pre-tape promo in Japanese. They accused Io of betraying them, even though they loved her, and choosing Rhea over them. They still love her. Asuka says they would retain their tag team championships on January 5th. Byron Saxton interviewed Dominic Mysterio. Dominic was happy to be the last person to beat John Cena. Nobody could see John Cena anymore, being that he's not there. It made him the greatest Mysterio of all time and the greatest luchador of all time. Dominic was excited to see Raquel Rodriguez bring more gold to the Judgment Day. Yeah, that was never going to happen. The Vision. They meet backstage. They're all in their locker room. Got Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, and the fucking crazy bastard himself, Braun Breaker, who will be challenging CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. A World Heavyweight Championship that I believe he should win. Logan told Bronson Reed he was impressed with what he did to LA Knight last week. Braun Breaker was standing behind them and said, LA Knight is gone. We don't need to talk about him anymore. CM Punk is there, so they should go destroy him. Logan said maybe the Masked Man shows up. Heyman asked, why did you bring him up? What do you know, and who is the Masked Man? Do you know? No. Who is it? Do you know? Says Logan Paul. Heyman says, I don't know, and honestly, at this point, I'll take the help. He said, all of Knight's friends are out to get them. He said, if the Masked Man is aligned with them, all the better. Breaker pulled Heyman aside and said if he sees Punk, he's taking him out. Heyman told him not to. Heyman says they need Punk ready in 21 days on January 5th. Breaker knew how many hours there were till January 5th. And then Paul Heyman said, well, that's a bit obsessive, but okay. He told him to be patient and beat Punk and become world champion on January 5th. Logan then went up to Breaker and says, listen, they should, he says, lock in since he's facing Rey tonight. Help me lock in. Breaker says, yeah, let's do that. Who's the Masked Man? We find out later. Apparently, they gave a medical update on LA Knight. LA Knight apparently has suffered a cracked sternum, and he's on the shelf indefinitely. Merry Christmas, LA Knight. Ho, ho, ho. Enjoy the holidays. They also said that WWE Unreal Season 2 debuts on January 20th on Netflix. Io and Rhea Ripley made their entrance to the ring to cut a promo. As soon as they get down to ringside, they round the corner by the aisleway. Asuka appeared in the front row and misted Rhea Ripley from the fan section. So Rhea Ripley's got blue mist in the face. Kyrie then flew at Io and knocked her down. Asuka kicked her. In the ring, Io protected Rhea Ripley from an insane elbow and absorbed the impact of Kyrie's finishing move to protect Rhea Ripley. She sold the lower back. Asuka and Kyrie returned to the back as referees checked on Rhea Ripley's eyes as she cried out in agony that she was blinded by the blue mist. We got a women's Intercontinental Championship match here. Ivy Nile challenges Maxxine Dupri. I thought we'd see a little Natalya or Natty Neidhart. We didn't see Natty. We didn't see Natalya, the low-key legend. Nothing about her that we've been teased with over the last couple of weeks. You know, there'll be some people here that say, oh, Maxxine did a good job. Maxxine did a great job here against Ivy Nile. Bro, this was as boring as fuck. This was legitimately sleep-inducing. Another one of those moments that happened a couple of weeks ago where Maxxine beat Becky Lynch for AJ Lee to include herself in the feud, to get AJ into a War Games situation, to lead her team against Becky and her team into War Games. And then they don't do anything else to really kind of propel Maxxine Dupri and set Maxxine up for success. This was fucking boring. How could you ask? Genuinely, this is how I feel. How could you ask Maxxine Dupri to go in there against Ivy Nile and have a good match when nobody probably even knows who Ivy Nile is? Ivy Nile has not been on television and has not won a fucking match since July. It is December 15th. You're asking the fans to A, remember Ivy Nile. You're asking the fans to B, care about Ivy Nile. You're asking the fans to C, take Ivy Nile to be serious enough to elicit a reaction against Maxxine Dupri in this Intercontinental Championship match. Every situation is going to have an adverse effect on Maxxine Dupri, and it's going to result in a match that we got tonight. Not very good and very fucking boring. The only thing I could possibly say positive about this match is that Ivy Nile looks better with the hair down than she does MMA style. That's it. Don't know why Ivy Nile is getting a title match. She hasn't won a fucking match. I could pick any one of you in the chat tonight and deem you number one contender. It would be the same as Ivy Nile getting a title match tonight against Maxxine Dupri. Maxxine applied an armbar, trapping Nile between the ropes. She lost the grip. Nile slammed her onto the apron. Nile followed with a German suplex to the outside. Very weak-looking German. And we go into a commercial break. Maxxine mounted a comeback following the break. Ivy ducked a spinning kick and hit a powerbomb. Maxxine responded with a sit-out powerbomb of her own. There was a cover there and only a 2 count. Then Maxxine was stuck upside down in the ropes in a tree of woe. She fired up some emotion. She pulled down the straps on her ring gear while she was in the tree of woe. She didn't get any reaction when she kind of hulked up here. She then applied an ankle lock. Ivy kept countering. Maxxine blocked every attempt. There were a couple of nice transitions here with Maxxine grapevining the leg, and then Ivy Nile eventually tapped out. I don't know where they're going with the IC title. All I'm thinking is Becky Lynch can't get back soon enough. Javon Evans. He was on Saturday night's main event, teaming with Leon Slater against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Nice little sprint of a showcase match. He was backstage with Adam Pearce. Pearce was impressed with his performance on Saturday. They were approached by El Grande Americano. And with him were Ryo and the other guy. What's the other guy's name? It's Ryo and who else? Mayo? iOS 26.1. What's his name? Who? Kurt Angelo. Is that his name? Bravo. Oh, it's Bravo. Bravo Americana. Venti Americana. Oh, yeah, well. EO, Bravo, Dio, Venti. El Grande spoke Spanish. He was speaking very nasty to Javon Evans in Spanish, so Evans told him, listen, I know what you're saying in Spanish. Watch your fucking mouth. Pierce suggested a match for next week. It'll be Ryo stepping up for the challenge against Javon Evans. G-Chat, tell me when you see a taped Monday Night Raw when you see it. Man, that has tape show written all over it. Ryo and Javon Evans next week on Raw. Ever since the Gunther segment, this show has been a fucking snooze fest. Finally, I woke up. CM Punk. He's got a promo here against Braun Breaker. This was finally the Punk that Breaker wanted. This was great. This was probably CM Punk's best promo since the Doctor of Thugonomics he pulled out on John Cena going back into Night of Champions. I really enjoyed this promo. Comes to the ring. He was not in a good mood. He had a beautiful jacket on. I don't know if that jacket's going to be for sale or not. I don't know if you guys took a peek at his jacket. I want that jacket. That CM Punk jacket was fucking beautiful, man. I'd actually spend money on that. So let me know if that is actually a thing or if that was one of his custom jackets. Punk stormed to the ring. He's not in a good mood. He ripped the logo cover off the microphone. Vintage CM Punk. Punk said he missed 2 consecutive Raws because people smarter than him said he wasn't cleared to compete or fly. What happened to him at War Games hurt, but it wasn't painful or as painful as having to listen to Bron Breakker speak. Punk called him a cross-eyed Neanderthal Nepo baby. Punk recalled Breakker being mad at him for trying to end his career at War Games. Punk knew brains didn't run in Bron's family and reminded him that he didn't sign up to play board games. I actually legitimately laughed at that line. I thought that was fucking great. I was thinking of another board games. He was thinking of like board games like Monopoly or Battleship or Operation or fucking Chutes and Ladders. Can you imagine CM Punk? I would pay good money to see CM Punk and Bron Breakker play Battleship. I would. Punk congratulated him on the win, but said Breakker had the audacity to claim it was easy to beat him. Breakker wanted the 2011 version of Punk, but Breakker couldn't beat the 2025 version of him without a lot of help. Breakker got assists from a Brock Lesnar F5, a Bronson Reed Tsunami, and a Drew McIntyre splitting his head open. Not to mention the Masked Man. Breakker earned the title match, but he didn't do it alone. Punk has been here many, many times before. This wasn't the first time a Paul Heyman guy was gassed up too fast, too soon, only to watch him wilt under the bright lights of WWE. If Punk had a dime for every time someone not as smart as him gassed up a wrestler to be a future WrestleMania main eventer, he'd have a pocket full of dimes. Punk warned Breakker not to mention his wife again, or this would get personal faster than he could run. This wouldn't be about the belt anymore. Punk would rip his eyes out of his head and piss on his single-digit IQ brain. Punk would challenge Breakker to show up alone to fight him for the title, but he knew he didn't have the balls. Punk invited Breakker to invite the Vision, his dumb father, and even his dumber brother, Scott, because he would need all the help he could get. Punk would win, and Heyman would leave Breakker to move on to the next big thing. Meanwhile, Reed would be forced to do TikToks with the YouTube scammer. All Braun would have left was Dumb and Dumber, his father and uncle, and even with Steiner math, they would realize that GTS equals 1, 2, 3. This was a great fucking promo. I don't give a shit what you think of CM Punk. This is the CM Punk we need every single week on WWE television. He has taken a back seat. He's gotten a little bit soft. He's got to get that angst. We got to channel that fucking angst punk rock CM Punk. We've been operating with fucking Maroon 5. Recent Avenged Sevenfold CM Punk. Well, we don't need that CM Punk. No, we need like fucking Trivium CM Punk. We need like early Machine Head CM Punk. We need fucking early In Flames at the Gates CM Punk. Another band in Flames that went commercial and then I didn't listen to them no more. How you go from early In Flames to what we recently got? How do you expect people to continue to listen to you? Judgment Day. They met backstage. Dominic was excited for the women's title. match that was taking place with Stephanie and Raquel. Liv Morgan says they'd all have a great Christmas, but she wondered where Finn Balor was. Dominic says he was with JD, not me. I'd rather be with Liv, but not Finn, no. So he's with JD McDonough, who would be out for a while. McDonough's out with an injury. He posted something on Instagram saying that he would be back relatively soon. It's not going to be extensive or too long for him to come back, but he had some nagging stuff that he wanted to take care of, and he's out. Guy's a fucking beast. Underappreciated is JD McDonough. Liv Morgan approached Raquel and was excited to see her become the world champion before she and Roxanne become the tag team champions. And we go right into a women's championship match here between Raquel Rodriguez and Stephanie Vaquer. This went 9 minutes. And this also was not terribly exciting. A lot of women's wrestling on this show, which may have added to the unexciting feel of the show. There's just a lot of non-excitement going on right now. Unless you're Rhea Ripley. Everybody seems to be kind of blah. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break. They go to a commercial break about 90 seconds in. Typical WWE. Rodriguez stopped Vaquer and her offense with a clothesline. Again, not much heat to this at all, as the crowd was fucking asleep after overdosing on Hershey's. Take the Hershey Kisses out of your mouth, slobs, and start reacting to some pro wrestling. Stephanie head scissored Raquel over the top rope to escape an armbar. Raquel then lifted Vaquer. Stephanie slipped free and shoved Raquel into the ring post. There was a devil's kiss somewhere in there. Nikki Bella shows up and attacked Stephanie Vaquer. So this went to a no contest because Nikki Bella wanted to interfere. Nikki then gave Raquel the Rack Attack 2.0. Her music played and she exited the ringside area. Wade Barrett said Nikki's been at the top several times before and might again soon. Nikki then said, respect the veteran. Honey, nobody is going to respect you, and none of this is going to garner any interest. We left you at Survivor Series. Nobody gives a shit. Adam Pearce. He asked Heyman, who's underneath the mask? Heyman said Rollins, Becky Lynch, Nick Aldis, maybe it's Bruno Sammartino. I don't fucking know. But he's okay as long as it aligns with their vision. Adam Pearce says, oh, is that right, huh? Okay. He says that doesn't make him guilty. It just makes him convenient. He says he had to go get Logan ready for his match against Rey Mysterio. Ripley walked in. I want Asuka, as she's wiping away the blue mist from her eyes. Pearce said, well, how about next week? Good. Thank you. That works. Asuka, Ripley, next week on Raw. Rey Mysterio is walking backstage. CM Punk approached him, says he'd have his back tonight against the Vision. Rey said, I appreciate that, brochacho. Thank you. Jackie Redmond was backstage with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. They said they're ready to defend their tag team titles. Dragon Lee says they're going to bring the fire. Nikki Bella, that unfortunately, we had to see her twice tonight, said and interrupted what she did out there, she's not sorry for, and she's putting everybody in their place. She said she is tired of the current women not appreciating the path she paid for them. She said Raquel and Stephanie should be shining her boots. Respect the veteran. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Bayley. She's backstage with Lyra Valkyria and Maxxine Dupri. She told Maxxine she did a great job earlier. Lyra then walked in after Maxxine says, I got to go to medical because she had broken a fingernail apparently in her match. She was bleeding. Lyra walked in and asked Bayley how she's doing after losing to Sol Ruca on Saturday. Bayley said losing to someone with so much less experience than her made her wonder if things Asuka were saying might be true before War Games. Lyra told her one loss shouldn't affect her that much, so maybe she's an idiot. Well, Lyra getting some fiery jabs here at Bayley. Bayley shoved Lyra, yelled at Lyra, called her an idiot, and says that she will destroy Roxanne Perez next week. She told Lyra she's an idiot and stormed off. Lyra smiled and said, there she is. So she called Bayley an idiot to fire her up because she knows that Bayley is better when she's focused. Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul. This was your main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think Logan Paul is very good. I enjoy Logan Paul in the Vision. I enjoy Logan Paul on television. For some reason, this match did absolutely nothing for me, and this may be because of the crowd. I don't know what it is. Maybe he just doesn't work well with Rey Mysterio. Logan took control. He whipped Rey with his belt. Wade Barrett said the legality of that is questionable, and Logan Paul is risking disqualification. It's not worse than the AW referees, though. The AW referees are just straight fucking stupid. Logan punched away at Rey in the corner. Rey then took control. Big lifting knee on Logan. Springboard moonsault on Logan. Then he gave him a West Coast pop at ringside. We go into a commercial break. Rey had Logan down at ringside. Breaker and Reed come out. Punk made a save with a chair. So CM Punk lives up to his promise of helping Rey Mysterio. Glad to see that Punk kept his word here. So Punk ran out. Before that, we got Rey going for 619. Logan hits a boot right to the midsection. It looked fucking awful. Three Amigos. Before hitting the third suplex, Logan placed Rey on the top rope. Rey fought him off, hit a sunset flip powerbomb, which didn't look really good. Logan spilled to the outside. Rey hit him with a sliding splash. Then, like I said, the Bronze came out. Punk immediately ran out behind them with the chair. He attacked them with the chair and chased them to the back. Rey caught Logan in a crucifix bomb for a near fall. Logan blocked a Hurricanrana and hit an alley-oop face buster. Heyman landed, or handed, rather, the brass knuckles to Logan, who wanted to land a right hand on Rey Mysterio. Apparently, Rey tripped up Logan. Logan dropped the brass knuckles. Rey hit a 619. Rey considered looking at the brass knuckles and using them. He then grabbed them, placed them on his hand, but the masked man comes from out of nowhere, and as Rey reaches for the brass knuckles, hits a curb stomp. Logan Paul goes up top, hits a frog splash on Rey Mysterio, and Logan Paul gets the victory over Rey Mysterio. 15-minute main event. Logan Paul wins. The masked man faced off with Logan Paul. As you audibly seen Logan Paul ask, "Who are you? Who?" He scampered into the crowd. Masked man. He was not wearing a full ski mask. His eyes were very visible here. He ran into the crowd. He ran into the crowd because he seen CM Punk run into the ring. Punk stood on the turnbuckles as the camera focused on the masked man. He then removed his face to reveal himself as Austin Theory. This reaction did not come off well. There were some oohs and ahs in the visible area, but a lot of people were asking themselves, who? Who is that? He shaved his head. He's going for the Danny Garcia AEW jobber look. Oh, it's Austin Theory. Punk dropped down from the ropes after cursing out Austin Theory. He turns around and he was speared by Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker grabbed the world title. He agreed with Punk that this was business. But if Punk ever talked about his family like that again, he would never walk on 2 feet ever again. Braun Breaker held the championship up, and the show goes off the air. I thought Triple H said there would be a new era coming out of Saturday Night's Main Event. Where's the new era? Guy's been talking about a new era since the fucking Attitude Era. Monday Night Raw was fucking boring. This crowd was boring. This was uneventful. Outside of a Gunther promo and a Punk promo, we got a boring Uso New Day match. We got 2 boring women's matches, and we got a fucking boring main event with a masked man reveal of Austin Theory. I will say, though, as far as Austin Theory being the masked man, I'm glad that they didn't drag it out anymore because it already felt like it was being dragged out. There was no reason to drag it out until January 5th. But we don't really know what Austin Theory's intentions are. Is he going to join the Vision? Is he going to be working with the Vision? Is he like a sleeper cell for Seth Rollins? Because once upon a time, Austin Theory was a Seth Rollins disciple. Once upon a time, Austin Theory was a Paul Heyman guy. Who is he with? A lot of people are going to kind of already peg him in the Vision. He was supposed to be in War Games helping the Vision. He's going to be in the Vision. It's rumored that he's going to be helping the Vision and be in the Vision. We don't know where his allegiance lies. There's video, there's still images of Paul Heyman shaking Austin Theory's hand when he was in Evolve as their world champion. Austin Theory was handpicked by Paul Heyman to be one of the Paul Heyman 6 during the pandemic era when Paul Heyman was an executive director of Monday Night Raw along with Aleister Black and Andrade and Buddy Matthews. You don't remember that now, do you? He was also with Seth Rollins. So where does his allegiance lie? Who is he with? Is he with Seth Rollins as a sleeper cell infiltrating the Vision? Is Rollins working behind the scenes to get back at the Vision? Is he using Austin Theory to do that? Or is Austin Theory really in the Vision? We'll find out. But the reaction to Austin Theory went off like nothing ever happened. At least they gave us the reveal now instead of waiting on something that we already knew was going to happen and who the masked man was. Thank you guys very much for joining me here on this Monday night. We're going to get into your super chats, so please get them on in. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go and check out all the great content on the channel. We're rocking and rolling this December. Hour and a half upload today. Documenting everything from the beginning till the very end of John Cena's 2025. The good, the bad, the ugly, the ups, the downs, the in-betweens. The woulda-beens, woulda-beens, coulda-beens, shoulda-beens. And my raw, in-depth thoughts about the conclusion of the Gunther and John Cena match. Now that we sat with it for 48 hours. Go check that stuff out, all on the homepage. Strive for 1,000 likes. Super chats are open. Continue to get them on in. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew Gold. John Cena stepped into the ring one last time on Saturday night. He went out fighting, even in defeat against the mighty Gunther. And listen, that's what legends do. They don't quit. Well, he did. But over 23 years, John Cena never quit. They don't duck the moment. John Cena never ducked the moment. They show up when it matters. And fellas, if you want to show up like the legend in your main event, like John Cena, that's where Blue Chew Gold comes in. Blue Chew Gold is the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. This isn't some mid-card nostalgia act. This is a 4-in-1 powerhouse that sets the gold standard for performance. It's built to help you bring energy, confidence, and connection when the moment calls for it. No shortcuts, no sloppy booking, no Tony Khan Twitter announcements at 3 a.m. Blue Chew Gold dissolves under your tongue and can work in as little as 15 minutes. That's faster than Cena hitting the ring for one last "you can't see me." This is for the nights where you don't want to go out on a roll-up. You want to finish. You want the crowd remembering the moment. While AEW is out here running interference with no payoff, you're delivering clean main event endings that actually land. This isn't about performance. This is about legacy, or like I say, your third leg-a-see. Because when it's all said and done and you want to have them talking about how strong you finished, Blue Chew Gold is going to get them to get you talking about how strong you finished, not how early the bell rang. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your actions at BlueChew.com. We got a special deal for all of our listeners. 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code JD. That's 10% off your first month. It's promo code JD. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. Super Chats. Michael Krause with a $2 Super Chat. JD, OTS, how's everyone today? Let's go. Yeah. Joseph Taylor with an $18 Super Chat. Thank you, brother. JD, your favorite 3 Gunther matches? My 3 are Ilya Takeover 36, Tommaso Ciampa NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, and Pete Dunne NXT TakeOver New York. You are missing my favorite one, Joseph Taylor. Tyler Bate. I think that was NXT TakeOver Dublin. One of them. Cardiff or Dublin. I don't remember which one. Cardiff. That was one of the best WWE matches ever. They went 40 minutes. NXT UK was something special, bro. Telling you right now, that is something special right there. Tyler 01235 199. Rest in peace, Rob Reiner and his wife. So sad. Yeah, that's a terrible story. That's a terrible story. Apparently, their son is #1 suspect in the murder. Thank you, Tyler. Michelle with a 2. Not a big fan of Gunther, but what a great prick. Absolutely. Marshall D with a $4.99. Maxxine Dupri on my screen equals bathroom break. Yeah, she's not there yet, bro. She's not there yet at all. Though the matches with Becky Lynch were decent, she's gotten a lot better. She's just not there yet. Bossmo Jackson with a $1.99. Theory needs to explain himself next week. Well, I think we're getting a tape show next week. Next week is Christmas. I think WWE is giving all their talent off for Christmas. The next couple of weeks may be taped. Maybe a long couple of weeks here, guys, before we get to the new year. Twister 1296. Gunther's promo was overdone. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Suplexus. Man, come on now. Overdone? He didn't say anything. That's just the heel embracing the heat. He wanted to keep it going. Twister with a $9.99. Tonight was basically a build to January 5th. Not saying the show was bad, but that's basically what they're doing. Hershey sucked, though. Jay Gordo with a $20 Super Chat. What's going on, JD? Hope you are doing well. JD, whenever I'm having a shit day, you are my escape. You're my #1 stream on YouTube, recap, and Spotify Rap 2025. Since Cena has many thank yous, I want to say thank you to you, too. OTS for life. Appreciate you, Gordo. Thank you, brother. Michelle Moran with a $5 super chat. Terrible crowd for a boring show. Gunther and Punk's promos were a hit. I'm sorry, but even adding Theory to the Vision still feels flat. I hope 2026 is better. Jeff Mills with a new membership. Thank you, Jeff Mills. Thank you for being here, brother. Dalton Meister. Watching the clip of Gunther doing the "you can't see me" to AJ, then laughing to himself is gold. He is enjoying this shit. Bro is just the best. Bro, if there's any Gunther slander, man, there's something really wrong with you. I agree. Danko with a $4.99. Austin Theory in a main program while Grayson Waller is third wheeling with the New Day still, yeah? Grayson Waller was a stud on NXT 2.0, and then he just fucking fell flat on his face, huh? Tantalizing tag team with a $4.99. Gunther will now open his own retirement home. Goldberg, Cena, AJ is next. Brock and Orton as well. See, tantalizing Tony knows how to stay tantalizing, you see? He gets it. Thank you, my friend. Grand Prairie Cobra with a $2 super chat. JD.
Acknowledge me.
I acknowledge you, Grand Prairie. Dizzle with a pistol with a $5 super chat. What a great weekend. My Steelers win tonight and John Cena retiring. Just wanted to show some love. Hashtag Steeler Nation. Hashtag OTS for life. Thank you, brother. NM94 with a new membership. Thank you, brother. WrestleMess with a $1.99. Gunther giving us Iron Sheik type heel work. Danko with a $1.99. Gunther, the Goat Slayer. Bomber Dom with a $5 super chat. SmackDown on January 9th in Berlin, Germany will get a huge pop for Gunther. Yes. I'm looking forward to that. WWE's going overseas for that tour into the Rumble. Maybe some early streams in the beginning of the year. I hate it. I may keep my normal schedule while all the other fucking reaction geeks go live earlier in the day. Paula loves my music tonight. My boys in Condition Critical. Triple M with a $2 super chat. Gunther is the GOAT. Also, next dungeon will be cleaner, bro. Listen, man, I had a good time today. The more time we do something, the better we are at it. I'm actually surprised Jesse knew what he was doing so quickly. He's usually a slow learner. Steph Curry with a $10 super chat. I've been watching you since I was 18 in 2015. Keep up the great work. Fuck those haters. They don't know pro wrestling like you do. Also, I called Gunther making John Cena tap out on Saturday. Steph Curry fan. Appreciate you being here, brother. Steph Curry fan, another $5 super chat. JD, you should watch Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Yeah, I gotta kind of make time to do that. Right now, I don't have time to do that. I would love to sit down and just kind of relax with something like that. I don't have time. Michael Krause with the $2 super chat. You are the GOAT. OTS will go to war with you, JD. I know, Michael. I know you've been here every stream, bro. You are the first in line to order your drink every single night, bro. Ryan Fairburn with a $5 super chat. Every time you say follow me, I'm reminded of the days of the IWC Messiah. Follow me, my sons. Hope Austin Theory becomes a big deal after this. Bro, this is his last chance. If you don't hit it here, if you don't hit a home run here, it's over. Gregory Cruz with a $2 super chat. Hershey needs to be a house show. It's basically what the crowd was tonight. A fucking house show crowd. Captain Solo at $5 super chat. Do you remember Austin Theory briefly being a disciple for Seth Rollins back in 2020? Maybe Rollins is putting his own group together. Bro. Whereas I said I trust Triple H with Gunther, I don't trust him to actually tell a story here. I would be shocked if that's the case. That'd be great. Rollins working from home while infiltrating the Vision. Do they have the brain power to do something that cool? No. No, I don't think so. You mean Sesame Street Levesque? Gregory Cruz with the $2 super chat. Gunther ran it back like Jey Uso. He did? I didn't mind this run back. Coil Phoenix with a 47 months. Thank you, Coil Phoenix. I'm glad we finally got a reveal and it wasn't dragged out like normal. As for Sunday, I feel WWE missed a huge opportunity to induct Cena into the Hall of Fame. I don't know when Cena goes into the Hall of Fame. I honestly think that with Stephanie McMahon headlining, I think WWE is going with her as the headliner. Makes you wonder why both Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are going into the Hall of Fame. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they want to get in before they get fucking canned. And The Rock and $7 Productions takes over. True Styles with the new membership. What the fuck are we drinking tonight, brother? Tony Brown with a $4.99. JD, I consider you the absolute very best podcaster, period. I'm proud to be Team JD. Tony Brown, I'm happy to have you on my fucking team. Every night, Tony. Not only does Tony got good taste in wrestling, he's got good taste in fucking content, he's got great taste in women. Asocons 904 with a $50 bomb here. Hey, JD, I've been a fan of OTS since Mania XL. Love your authenticity and the way you explain how wrestling works. You talking about Gunther reminded me of Cody beating Roman. Roman pinned fan favorites during his title run, and it made Cody's win bigger. That was the whole point. People aren't seeing it. People are thinking with their emotions. Let it play out. You're watching a master at work in Gunther. He's going to be the guy to ruin your childhood. Until the guy that comes around that's going to be the next hero takes him out. Cody Snyder with a $2 super chat. Happy 30th to Heat. Goddamn, what a movie. Man, it's been 30 years? Holy shit. Side of the Ham, 420 with a $1.99. JD, do you do any throat warm-ups before your shows? I do not. I do not. What I usually do is I have these one-shot voice drops. Soothing Yuzu. That's what I take. To keep my voice in check every time I go live, I pop one of these bad boys. They're actually very good. Quite delicious. So if you guys want to go check them out, one shot, voice drops. Good stuff. Soma BT with a $2 super chat. Masked Man should have been RVD. Blurry vision. Another Paul Heyman guy, huh? Delwyn with a 20. Glad Austin Theory got his chance. He really needs this fresh change. He's got a potential, but he hasn't shown it much lately. I hope this helps him out by doing soul work I'm just guessing this is a predict he's teaming up with Seth. It could be. It could be. I like that idea. I think that's a great idea. We'll see what happens. Maybe we get him cutting a promo next week. Trey, the Trillist, with a 32 months. Gunther equals JBL. I would never make such a comparison. Never make such a comparison. Harpreet with a $6.99. Do you think guys like Eddie Kingston or Darby Allin will ever jump to WWE? Also just watched ECW One Night Stand 06. R.I.P. Terry Funk. Ruthless Aggression. One of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. Darby Allin and Eddie Kingston in AEW jumping to WWE? No. No, I don't think they would ever jump. I don't think Tony Khan would let either one of those guys go. Eddie Kingston's under a 6-year contract, so that's his last deal. And Darby Allin, Tony Khan would never let him go. Robbie, 618 with a 199. Gunther will retire the face of WCW, WWE, and TNA. A generational talent, bro. Zoe, 6140 with a 499. Love what you do, JD. Always great insight. Do you think Drew and Cody is the Mania match? Want to get your thoughts because I personally don't care. No, I don't think that's the Mania match. I think that happens on the first SmackDown of the new year. Worst case, Royal Rumble. Remember, there's also a Saturday night's main event before the Royal Rumble. That would be way too late. Nobody would care at that point. So everybody would kind of feel the way you do. David Rice with a 20. Thank you, brother. Did you hear the Meltzer and Alvarez comment about Cena not having TK and the Bucks booking his retirement match? Yes. I thought it was absolutely fucking one of the worst things I heard. That just goes to show you where their priorities lie, what payroll they're on, and what type of content they produce. And the fact that they said that is fucking embarrassing to their brand and to the entire newsletter. It's fucking awful. They also got the opinion of it completely wrong. Appreciate you, David. Thank you for being here, brother. Clone Force with the 499. When Roman comes out and confronts Gunther in 26, the crowd is going to go crazy. You think Roman versus Gunther feud happens in 26 and that feud would cook? Yes, I do. Roman is not long for this world either. It all depends on if we get Roman and Rock at WrestleMania in Saudi. WrestleMess with a 999. Gunther about to give us the biggest non-title story over the next 18 months, bullying the undercard and retiring legends. I could see either Javon Evans or Carmelo Hayes being the needed hero. Neither one of those guys work, but they need some serious tender love and care. They need to be like fucking built for that moment. 199. Major Motions. That guy should pause on the throat warm-ups, bro. Well, I answered the question in a very genuine and legitimate way, Major Motions, and maybe you should get your mind out of the gutter, bro. I legitimately thought it was a genuine question. I have throat drops that are used by musicians. Matt Heafy from Trivium promotes that same exact brand and uses it every time he goes out on stage. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here. Tomorrow night, guys, appointment viewing. You do not want to miss Tuesday Night Titans 125 tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Avenge Sevenfold with a 499. 30 years ago tomorrow, Triple H thrown into a hog pen by HOG This also took place in Hershey, Pennsylvania at In Your House. 5 seasons beatings. Bro, I don't believe I got a super chat mentioning Henry O. Godwin. It's fucking crazy, man. Thank you guys for a great stream. Tuesday Night Titans tomorrow with the one and the only, the Solo Monster. It should be a very fun discussion tomorrow. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go and check out the great content, including today's video on John Cena. And until tomorrow night, I will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. with the Solo Monster right here on TNT. I'll see you guys later.